What's going on, everyone? So today the Lakers start the first of a back-to-back against the Cleveland Cavaliers, and this is a game I feel the Lakers really need to win, right? If they can win this game, then that would, one, make them 11-12 and put them that much closer to getting to 500, which I do think they get to 500 at least during this road trip, especially towards the back end, because after this road trip they got a very tough schedule. So it'd be nice to kind of be in a position where you can kind of weather, maybe trade off some games, because you're going to lose some games along the way, right? The Lakers aren't going to win like 30 straight games or something crazy like that, but they are looking really good. They obviously could use this win. This is a team that they should have beaten last time they played, ended up falling short, and I think that this is a really winnable game. On top of that, very likely LeBron and Anthony Davis might not play against the Toronto Raptors. So if this is a game that they're both going to play, you need to win this game because then Toronto, very likely you lose that game. But if you do win that game without, say, LeBron or Davis, or maybe Davis, I think they at least rest Davis that game. And if they do, and you can win that game, well, then now you're in a position that's just really good. Now you're at 500. You have a nice little break over a couple days to kind of let LeBron and Anthony Davis get some rest, and then they come back, and then hopefully you can kind of round out and close out this road trip with two more wins, put you over 500. If you lose the Toronto game, it's not the end of the world because hopefully you can get those last two games on the road trip. Now you're at 500. All is right in the world, right? And now you're going into that tough schedule. So that would be ideal. Now, obviously, LeBron, his return to Cleveland, every time he's in Cleveland, he usually has a big, monstrous game. So I do expect LeBron to have a really solid game today. However, I do want to see LeBron I want to see LeBron continue the good habits that he's created over the last, couple games since he's returned. And this team is really just thriving right now with LeBron kind of allowing Anthony Davis to be the guy, right? They are top 4 in offense right now because of this resurgence of Anthony Davis and because of this team being able to just go out there and night in and night out compete with their big three, and all of them kind of settled into their roles, right? And LeBron, he's so smart, just so skilled, so talented. He's going to get his 20, 25 points just on just being intelligent and being arguably the smartest guy on the court every single night, right? So that's a big factor there. Plus his shot has started to fall, which it can be a good thing, but it can also be a bad thing, as we've seen earlier in the season, right? When his shot wasn't falling, he kind of falls in love with that three-point shot. And if it's not, seeing the bottom of the net, well, then it becomes a problem. And he can literally shoot you out of games as much as he can shoot you into games. But this is a game that LeBron, I do imagine, comes in, shows up, shows his dominance, really tries to take over this game, and really kind of puts on a display in Cleveland, right? He loves to show out for the home fans, all that stuff. So this, I think, is going to be a very interesting game and a game we have to win. Russell Westbrook, I expect a big game from Russ. I really do. Because, look, Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland, they're not guarding our guards, right? They're not defensive type guards. They're small. This is a game where if Russ was going to put the points with the assists, tonight is that game, right? Allow Russ to kind of just be free and just blow past these guys. I expect Russ, and I'm not saying he's going to put up like 30 points or anything. It'd be nice if he did, but I could see a nice all-around game from him. I could see something like maybe 18, 7, and 10. Right? Something like that, where he's getting 10 assists, getting, 17, 18 points, and just really just kind of just abusing the smaller guards. Like, same thing with Dennis Schroeder. This should be a game that Dennis Schroeder should be able to just kind of abuse these guys, get to the basket easily. Walker had a great game last time. So this is a team that our guard play is really going to be able to match up well. Now, in the same breath, you got Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland, who both could light it up too. So we have to be able to kind of slow them a little bit down and try to put some pressure on them. But this is a game where if Russ was ever going to have like that put it all together game, this is the game that I think that he could do that for. And that's something that I've talked about on this channel a lot. Like, Russ went from being Russ, right, and playing the way that he's always played the game, this triple-double, all that stuff, to completely having to reinvent his game and kind of became this playmaker, which is great, and he's killing it, and I love it. And that's the role we need from him. We don't need Russ to go out and score 30 points a game. We don't. Can he do it? Sure. But we don't need that from Russell Westbrook. I would rather have Russ go get us 10 and 12 rather than getting us 25 a night, right? Because he's getting more production. He's getting other guys involved, so other guys aren't stagnant. Other guys, can contribute throughout. Also, he's getting producing more points in total than if he went out and got like 25 points and dished out 3 assists, right? Because then at that point, yeah, he gave you like 31, but if he gives you like 15 and 12, now he's giving you like 39, 40 points of production. I'd rather have that, a more balanced game from him. So I'm waiting for him to kind of put the two together, right? He went from like trying to score and being the guy and kind of being Russ to being primary playmaker. And that's a lot of why Anthony Davis has had such this huge surgence, right? Like Russell Westbrook is setting up Anthony Davis so much. Like even that like 55-point game, like 20 of those points came from Russ, like at least, right? Russ had 15 assists and like 10 of those came from like Anthony Davis. So his little connection and him operating in that pick and roll, I think is going to be absolutely deadly. And the Cavs are missing a couple guys, so I imagine Anthony Davis has a dominant monster game tonight. They don't have that rim protector and Allen, so I imagine Russ gets to the rim and doesn't really face much of a challenge once he does get to the rim. So this is a game that the Lakers can really exploit with LeBron James, Russell Westbrook, Dennis Schroeder, 3 guys that can easily just blow past the defense, get to the hoop, and put themselves in a position. Hopefully LeBron James gets some calls tonight. I mean, he is in Cleveland, so maybe they'll finally give him a nice whistle. I don't even care about like the superstar whistle, right? That you see. Like just give him a fair whistle. Like LeBron's not even getting a fair whistle right now. Same thing with Russ. Russ hasn't really gotten a fair whistle this year either. He's had a couple moments more than LeBron, but for the most part, like there have been several times where like Russ just drives to the basket, just gets clobbered and nothing, and then like everyone's like, why did he miss a layup? But it's like, if you watched it, he got smacked in the face and they didn't call anything. It's not easy to finish in that kind of traffic, right? That kind of beating. But I want to see this. I'm hoping this is a game that Russ can kind of figure it out and put it together. Because I really think once Russ figures out, okay, I could go get 16 points and still dish out 12 assists, because we know he can, right? He's just trying to buy into his role and kind of fill his role. But if Russ can get to like 16 and keep that 10 to 12 assists a game, watch out. Because that's just going to take the Lakers to another level, because now you got another consistent scorer, which I think is huge. And then, of course, Anthony Davis. I expect Anthony Davis to have a monster game. He's going up against like Kevin Love, Robin Lopez, like guys like that. Like he should be feasting this game. Like this should be another like 40 to 50 point game. I'm not saying he has to do that every single night, but this should be a monster game. This should be at bare minimum 25 to 30 points. Easy tonight with some solid rebounding. This should be another 12 to 15 rebound game. I think if he does get like say 25 points, it's because like the Lakers are just kind of cruising on these guys. Russ probably has a bigger game because like I said, it's going to be easier for him. LeBron's probably going to be LeBron this game. And so I think Anthony Davis, yes, he's still going to be the number one option, but I don't expect a 50-point game from him again. Although, it wouldn't surprise me, right? Especially with the interior. But Cleveland's a team that they're very thin on the interior already as far as like quality defense, shot blocking, guys like that. And we have Russ and LeBron, 2 of the best like guys at just getting to the basket, penetrating, getting to the hoop. This should be an easy feast for them. Like Russ and LeBron should be able to just eat, and that will set up a lot of easy buckets for Anthony Davis. I think Anthony Davis is going to get a lot of easy points and generate a lot of easy buckets just being the role guy, just being there, getting rebounds and putbacks, off of like LeBron and Russ's misses. And Russ loves to just like get to the hoop, go to the basket, throw up those little lobs or those little wraparound passes to Anthony Davis. I think Anthony Davis has a really big but easy game. I don't think that it's going to be this. I don't think this is going to be a game where he's really going to have to work a ton to generate his points. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he has 20 at the half. I think I really wouldn't, especially with Allen out, stuff like that. Like, they should be looking to just penetrate. If you don't have the lob, finish at the rim. If you do have the lob, feed Anthony Davis. Let Anthony Davis go to work. Guys hitting shots hopefully continues because the Lakers have really kind of turned around the three-point shooting. I'm not saying they're going to shoot 47% or anything like that, but they're starting to average out, which is good, which is something that I was saying even in the beginning of the season. Like, the Lakers weren't going to shoot 23% from three the entire season. It just wasn't going to happen. Guys are going to average out sooner or later, and guys have. And that's really helped in this sort of turnaround for the Lakers. But this is a game that I think is very important because I really think the likelihood of Anthony Davis and LeBron James not playing tomorrow is very high, right? I think the Lakers try to go get this game in Cleveland tonight. They win this game, and then they rest LeBron and AD and let the cards fall where they may. Right? Russ will probably be that'll probably be Russ's big game. So I really think these next two games could be very big for Russell Westbrook. Now, obviously, if it's a game like, say Toronto and it's just Russ and not Davis and LeBron, then I expect him to have like a 30, 10, and 15 game, right? But even if it is, like, this is an opportunity for Russ to kind of put the scoring with the assists, right? Like, there's a couple teams that I feel that way. Like, Cleveland's one of them. Like, in the Western Conference, like Denver. Like, I've talked about how, like, the Lakers should abuse Denver because they don't have that interior defense, right? So, and they don't have guys that can keep Russ in check. Same thing with Cleveland. Like, Cleveland doesn't have that interior defense, and Russ can easily just blow past Garland, can blow past, Mitchell, and just abuse them, get to the hoop, and there's not really much of a challenge at the rim. More times than not, you're either going to draw the foul or you're just going to be able to finish over. And so I really expect that to be happening. And we really need our big three to come through tonight, right? We need this win, get to 11 and 12, and then rest LeBron, rest Anthony Davis. Again, that gives you 4 or 5 days of rest, which would be nice. And then if we could steal that win in Toronto, which I wouldn't be surprised, right? I really wouldn't. Toronto's good, but they're not that good. I really think that, if Russ, say LeBron and AD sit, I think Toronto is still a winnable game without Davis and LeBron. I mean, more likely than not, they'll probably lose that game, but I don't think it's a game that, you look at and you go, man, there's no way that they're beating Toronto without LeBron and Davis. I think Russ can have a big game. I think guys can step up. I think it's a favorable matchup for Thomas Bryant. Winning Gabriel is out tonight, but hopefully he's back for the game against Toronto, because I think he could have a favorable game against Toronto. So I do expect the Lakers to try to go out, get this dub tonight, and then we'll see what happens with Toronto, which I do think Davis and LeBron see some rest. Either that or they see very limited play. If they do play, I think it'll be very limited play because you want to keep them healthy, right? You want to keep them as well rested as possible. They've been probable for the last, handful of games. So LeBron has tweaked his ankle in every game the last 5 games. So if you could get him some rest and get him an opportunity to kind of just sit out, I think you do. And then at that point, I think you rest Anthony Davis too, because you want you need Anthony Davis more than anybody right now, right? Anthony Davis is the key. So you want to do everything in your power to keep Anthony Davis healthy. I would gladly trade the Toronto game the way that the Lakers are playing right now. I would gladly take the Toronto game to rest LeBron and Anthony Davis, so that way it ensures that they're healthy and they're ready to go and close out this next 2 stretch. And then now you're at 500. At the end of this road trip, I would gladly do that. I would do that 10 times out of 10 times. So anyway, hopefully Lakers go out, they do their job, they do what they're supposed to do, they get this W, because this is a game that I really believe they can win and that they should win. I mean, they should have beaten Cleveland last time and they failed. So hopefully this time they can close out, do what they need to do, get the win, and I think these three all have big games again. I really do. I think all three of these guys show out. I think LeBron's going to show out because he's playing in Cleveland. I think Russ is a bad matchup for these guys. And then Anthony Davis is just playing Anthony Davis basketball. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I want to hear from you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments section below. What do you think? Do you think, this is a game Lakers should go out, big three, should dominate, go get this W? Do you think this is a game that we could lose? Do you think that they rest everybody come the Toronto game? Do you think that that's something that they really might end up doing? However you feel, whatever your thoughts are, good, bad, ugly, somewhere in between, I would love to hear them. Let me know down in the comment section below.